Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer Vatsa. I've been meaning to do this video for quite some time. This is about my journeys using Slut Water by Barbie Garrett. And I will have links below as to where you can get that. And a little bit more about it. It's something that she created that's very unique. I have a little bottle right here. I'm going to have to order more soon. I got this when it first came out. I think back in August. It's now October somehow, magically. But something that she habitually makes while being possessed by Astarte, the goddess. And it is some powerful stuff. And I've had some really amazing experiences with it. I use it almost every night. I'll anoint my forehead or my third eye and my heart chakra with it every night. But what I've done with this, when I first got it, and I took a lot of notes about my experiences, because it opened up a lot of things for me. When I first started using it, it was shortly after I'd gone through a breakup, one that I'm still healing from. And this was kind of early on in the healing process. And along with it, and I think she's added a few things. There's like a course with it now and some other ritual things as well. But one of the things she includes is a bath ritual with it. So that was the first time I added it to the bath. Lit a self-love candle, that sort of thing. So I called it the Bath of Tears. So I burned a lotus candle. That was one that I had made with blue lotus flowers and had that aroma to it because I really love the aroma of blue lotus. It's very beautiful, peaceful, and calming. So I invoked Astarte and through this ritual. And because I was trying to heal emotionally from the breakup, and a lot of things were upsetting me after this, so shortly thereafter. And in general, I tend to find water to be very cleansing, and I felt really peaceful afterwards. It was just a hard time, and it still is hard. I mean, I'm still only a few months out from it. It's just like, when you really connect with a person, on all levels. And yeah, we were together 2 years, so, I could feel how much he loved me, when we were together and stuff. It's just life during times of the corona does not make life easy for relationships. So the second night I used it in combination with my Lilith flying ointment. And this is where the journey really begins. So I basically went on a 3-hour journey with Lilith, Hecate, and Astarte. And I had just started working with Hecate, maybe a few weeks prior to this, actually. So I went to Lilith's realm and called to her. She immediately swooped in, scooped me up, and flew me to this arid desert wasteland with reddish skies. Hecate joined us, and the ground quaked and split open. As Astarte arose, she was covered in dirt, clay, and had long matted hair. She shook off the dirt and opened this dimensional split. It appears like a sort of a radiant, vertical, kind of jagged light. And she reached on either side and pulled it open to open this portal. We were at a triple crossroads between Hecate's secret garden, Astarte's desert realm, and Lilith's realm. They formed a triangle around me and called upon the healers and shamans from their time or their realms. Astarte's shamans covered my body in a red clay from head to toe. It tightened around my skin to the point that I could barely move. They painted on the red clay white chalky substance, various symbols and sigils. I was given a long spear, and they summoned past lovers with the choice to spear them through the heart if there was unresolved issues, or to lay the spear down if there was no resentments, and I was healed from the pain. My previous boyfriend that I had just broken up with appeared first. I don't remember what was said, but I drove the spear through his heart because there's obviously unfinished business, and not that I have resentments, I just had not healed from the pain yet. He faded away, and the clay and chalk started to fall from my skin. My former husband appeared next, and I laid the spear on the ground um, at his feet. I no longer have any resentments from our marriage, and I'd gone through the healing process for that, and he faded away. A former friend appeared that I had an emotional affair with, and never. I mean, we were platonic, but there were some feels. I speared him through the heart to destroy the version of me that was still in love with a version of him. We are no longer those people. So while I've moved on from that, I was destroying. There's a part of me that was still in love with a part of him, but we're just not those people anymore. So even if we ran into each other, we wouldn't be the 10 years ago version of us. Another former partner from 20 plus years ago appeared. He was very abusive. While I've healed, I speared him through the heart anyways, because sometimes a motherfucker needs to be speared through the motherfucking heart. Just on principle alone. The trials with Astarte were now complete. Next, Lilith led me to the Lake of Blood. And if you remember from my Abaddon video, one of the first times I worked with Abaddon, I entered the abyss through Lilith's Lake of Blood. So I laid in the water and I sunk to the bottom to get to the portal to the abyss. I had to locate my ex-boyfriend's lost soul in the abyss to retrieve the piece of my heart and soul that I gave to him. The abyss is weird. It's like a gelatinous, gooey, orange, watery trash heap of junk and lost souls and various mutated entities. I found him and retrieved the piece of my heart and soul he still had. I emerged from the Lake of Blood in a crimson gown, and Hecate and her healing consorts in her garden filled me with healing light. I think this is where the journey ended, but I came out of the astral realm and had woken and realized 3 hours had passed. I think time works differently there. I may have mentioned that before. So, on the third time I was working with Saltwater, I anointed myself and used the Lilith flying ointment again. I spoke to Lilith, Hecate, and Astarte, thanking them for their trials. They said that I have now become a living goddess, a manifestation of the divine. They will be there for me as watchers. They said to continue my path working with the demonic gatekeepers for new revelations and self-work. I asked for advice on doing rituals for hire, and they said that I have become fully one with Amamael, Mother of Fallen Angels, and now can manifest as Mother of the Newly Awakened. And if you watch my video I did, Amamael, A Personal Gnosis, that will go over that whole storyline. And some of it has evolved a little bit since then in some of my workings, but I mean the basis of the whole story is there. They said that I can do astral work with demons and dark spirits on behalf of others who are having trouble communicating or with doing astral travel. I asked how I can or what I can offer as a tribute for their guidance. Lilith wants me to heal from my breakup. Astarte wants an offering of sexual fluids the next time I have sex mixed with blood and wine. Very specific. And Hecate wanted a prism. I actually got the prism, so it's this little dangly thing. It's on my altar. Also, in general, I asked spirits for... this is just sort of a little side note. I asked spirits for help that I wanted to pay off my debt within a year. And I woke up with a message from my debt consolidation company that they settled one of my credit cards for $6,000 less than what I had owed, and it would be paid off by October. And it's October, so yay me. They also want me to build an astral temple. So... on the fourth occasion, I met with Astarte, and she took me to her land. She shared with me the cradle of civilization before civilization, during her time, and in the future. We bathed in the river Euphrates. We experimented with her possessing my body at different levels, and which was interesting. We had some snacks because I was like, you know what? If you're gonna get used to being in my body, it's different. You know, I have to pee, and sometimes I get hungry. So, interesting enough, she thought gummy bears were weird, but she did like the cinnamon mini donuts, and I like cinnamon mini donuts too. And she was undecided on barbecue potato chips. I was exhausted and headachy the next day. So this kind of combines the next two workings kind of combine a whole bunch of things together. So this is kind of might jump around a little bit or refer to other things. So I started working on my astral temple. And basically, the basis of it is a dark garden, which is surrounded by vibrant flowers, trees, poisonous plants. There's a mountain with a waterfall. And on the top of the mountain is an astral spire that goes up into the stars. And behind the waterfall is a cave with two tunnels. The one to the left leads to the Infernal Empire, and the one to the right leads to the underworld. There's a sacred circle for rituals at the center of the dark garden. I welcomed Lilith, Astarte, and Hecate. We bathed in, there's also a lake at the base of, well, I guess where the waterfall is. And then we had a threesome. Dark goddesses, they're all about sex stuff. They all gave me their permission to work as an intermediary between them and the astral realm on behalf of others. I then traveled to track down the 9 demonic gatekeepers. Where this story arc kind of wraps up is I, again, was working with the Slutwater, and this is, I initially was working with Satan in his throne room, and I asked him what he wanted most, and he said it was peace on earth after the rebirth of civilization. I turned into a bat and flew to Lucifer, and then we went on to my astral temple in the dark garden. The rest of the gatekeepers, Astarte, Lilith, and Hecate, showed up and bore witness to my becoming Amamael, the living goddess. I had to admit to myself the one thing that I couldn't previously admit to myself, which I'm not going to go into because it's private. I think this was at the time I was starting to work with Lucifuge, Rophakal as well. And I had made an astral pact with him, and we both signed it. It's weird because I felt my fingers trace his initials on the astral document as well as mine. We were very, like line item 1, initial, line item 2, initial. Anyways. They showed me 2 portals in my astral temple. There's a white light portal, no direction, just light, bright, blinding light. And another one that is like a dark black void. So what the purpose of these is that I can go into the light void to regain energy, and I could deposit negative energy into the dark void. Okay, maybe that wasn't where the story ended. So this is also talking about, I was working with Astarte, Lilith, and Hecate. I allowed Astarte and Lilith to possess me. Hecate held me for protection and grounding. And then there was a tropical storm. Oh, 2 other things I wanted to mention. In my workings with Astarte and especially using the Slutwater, I think it was in that last one when I was undergoing the possession with Astarte and Lilith, where like I'm in the astral realm and Medusa came flying in, and I was like, got enough going on in here, girl, but I'll be working with you. So that's something that's come through for other people too, is this kind of Medusa energy. Especially when working with Slutwater. And also in recent times I've been working with Lilith for certain things. Worked with Freya for the first time. She's very tall. Not like Abaddon tall, but like maybe like 9 to 10 feet tall. Very graceful, but she emanates this like frosty breeze. It was really interesting though. So that was my healing journey that I went through in the first sort of week or so of working with Barbie Slutwater. Also combining a little bit with my own rituals and astral realm practice, as well as flying ointments. And it's something I continue to use regularly. I need to order some more, so I'll be doing that soon. Probably be something I buy regularly. Because you can use it in like bath water and other things as well, put some in your lotions. I use it in rituals all the time. I use it to anoint candles and sigils and things like that as well. So something I highly recommend. And thank you for watching. And I just want to give a shout out to my Patreon supporters. I love you all.